Welcome back, everyone, to day 14 of learning SQL. We've been at this for 14 days in a row. We've learned a ton in the process, and we're going to stay on the grind. Today, we're going to talk about subqueries, and we're going to show an example of where we could use a subquery and why they are super useful. So let's go ahead and first select everything from this film table. And we're going to pull this up here. This is the film table that exists in our DVD rental database. And these are all the films that are available out there on the market, and we have a ton of different information about them. But let's say that we have been given the task to go through this film table and to return all of the films that have a replacement cost that is higher than the average replacement cost. So essentially, we need to take all the films in the table, calculate the average replacement cost, and then go through and only return films that are higher than that average. So let's go ahead and break this down and see how we can do this with a subquery. So the first thing that we need to do is to actually calculate the average replacement cost, which we can do pretty easily. We can just go ahead and select use the average function, put in the replacement cost, replacement underscore cost. And this is going to be from the film table. And if we go ahead and run this, as you can see, the average replacement cost with the current films that exist in the table is $19.98, 19.984. And so what we can do here is we can actually use this query within another query to get this exact number. And where we're going to need to use this is in our where statement, right? Because we want to say, show us all films from the film table where the replacement cost is greater than the average replacement cost. Well, to calculate that average, we can use this query as a subquery. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and say that we're going to select all the films from the film table. And then we want to say where the replacement cost, replacement underscore cost, underscore cost is greater than. And then you can imagine here that we essentially want to take this 19.984 and plug it in right here within these parentheses to then find movies with a replacement cost higher than the average. However, you might be asking, well, can't we just take that number and put it in there? Well, we don't want to do that because what if we need to run this query again at a later date, and this film table is constantly going to be updated with new films. So our average may actually change as time goes on. So both the replacement cost of films may change as they get older, and also the average is going to change as new films and older films get changed alongside it. So we need to be very, very careful. We can't just save 19.98 because that's going to be changing. So instead, let's just use a subquery to find the average for us with the current data in the table. And then we can go ahead and pull all the films that are greater than that average replacement cost. So we'll just go ahead and copy and paste the query that we used in the previous example to get this number. And so now essentially what SQL is going to do is it's going to go ahead and pull the data from this query, which is going to give us the average replacement cost. And then we're going to filter the table where the current replacement cost of the film is greater than that average. So let's go ahead and run this. So let's keep in mind 19.984. So we'll go ahead and run this. And if we go over here, we can see that all of the films, you can see that the replacement cost is greater than 19, right? Or that number that we had, 984. So we scroll down here, you can see that all of these are more expensive. And so this is how we can actually use a subquery to complete that task. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch us back for day 15 tomorrow, where we're going to continue to learn SQL. See you then.